56-yarder. Does not have the leg. And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone. He'll run it out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the midfield.
Welcome back to another episode of Top 25 and 25 with me, Ian Fritz. This week we're just going to get into a lot, actually. We have a lot for this preview show for week 3, and some of you may be thinking, week 3, not a lot of good games in week 3, not a lot of premier matchups, not a lot of who knows what's going to happen in week 3. Well, we don't know what's going to happen in week 3, but I do know this. Every time that you think there's not a good slate of football games in college football, what does that weekend give you? It gives you a good slate of college football games. And I think that's what we have here in week 3. Okay, so we've got several things on the slate for today. Several things. We've got a lot to get through in our usual amount of time. Time doesn't just you don't get more of it. You get the same amount. So let's just jump right in. Week 3 preview. Week 3 preview. We'll start with the AP Top 25. As you know, in the last video, I gave out the what if poll. Top 24 teams, because there are not 25 deserving teams. Top 24 teams, but we're going to go back to the AP Top 25, give you that rundown, because that's what I picked based off of, the AP Top 25. So we'll just run through that. We'll run through the differences for, this team's here in the AP Top 25. This team's here in the what if poll. Let's just go through the top 25 here. No top 25 matchups this week. A little bit of a bummer. So I'm kind of just going to pick based on, what I want to tell you guys. And I'm not really sure which one I'm going to pick. Give you guys my picks which way, who knows when. I don't know yet. Okay, here we go. AP Top 25. Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, Texas, USC, Ohio State, Penn State, Washington, Notre Dame, Alabama, rounding out your AP Top 25, Top 10. We have some differences in the top 10. Let's get to them. Okay, for one, Georgia. Where do we have Georgia in the what if poll? Because the what if poll is correct. Nothing wrong with the AP poll. It's just wrong, and we don't want to be wrong. We want to be right. So that's why we have the what if poll. Georgia at number 2. Not a big error by the AP poll voters, but it's still an error. Number 2, Michigan. Where do we have Michigan? We have Michigan at number 4. Now, we're getting, Georgia was only 1 off. Michigan's 2 off. Why do we have Michigan at number 4? Well, frankly, we think there are 3 teams better than them at this moment, not just 1. Okay, next up in the AP poll, Florida State. You guys know how I feel about Florida State. National championship pick at the moment, beating Oklahoma in the national championship. We'll get a little bit into that later, maybe. Florida State, national championship. They're number 1 in the what if poll as of now. Okay, AP poll, Texas, number 4. Where do we have them? We have Texas at number 3. Why do we have Texas at number 3? Well, frankly, they have the best win in college football at the moment. Does that mean anything at the moment? I think so. Yeah, I think it does. Texas, good football team right now. What if poll, number 3. AP poll, number 4. I don't really want to talk about all the differences, so we'll get into a couple more. Alabama, they have at number 10. We have Alabama at number 11. Not a big difference there. Where do they have Tennessee? They have Tennessee at number 11. I have Tennessee at number 14. Three-step difference there. Okay, let's get into some lower teams. OU, right here. As you guys know, they're currently in the national championship against Florida State. And OU dropped a spot in the poll, in the AP poll, to number 19. Isn't that crazy? They beat a really good SMU team, and they dropped a spot. Colorado hype might be getting too much there in the AP poll voters' minds. We have Oklahoma all the way up at number 10. No bias involved there. No bias involved. Number 10 team in the country. They're one of 2 teams at the moment with a top 10 scoring offense and a top 10 scoring defense. The other team isn't even in either top 25. So what does that mean exactly? Well, it means OU's a top 10 team in the country. That's what it means. Okay, let's get to it. You know what? Let's get to some games to watch. I said that there's not a lot of marquee matchups this week, but there are some games to watch. There are some games that catch my eye that I'm going to enjoy this weekend. Number one game that I'm going to enjoy this weekend, and I think it's going to be the number one game this weekend. I think it's going to be Tennessee at Florida. Okay, got to take a sip here. 5 minutes in, got to take a sip. Tennessee, Florida. Okay, now Tennessee coming off that pitiful, pitiful, pitiful game against Austin Peay people. And Florida coming off not a good week one. They bounced back last week, but I think the Swamp's gonna be rocking. They're gonna be doing their clap, boom. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember the Gator Stomp maybe. The Gators. It's a tough place to play down there in the Swamp. I think it's gonna be rocking. And I think Tennessee's gonna have a tough time playing down there. Can Joe Milton get it going? I don't think he can. I think that guy he can just throw the ball a long ways. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. There, I said it. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. At Florida, I don't really know if they have a lot of good things going for them, but I do know this. They have the Swamp. I know I've mentioned it, but they have the Swamp. Tough place to play in the Swamp, okay? That's why I think this game's going to be fun to watch. I think it's going to go down to the wire. The line's -7 right now for Tennessee. And we'll get into my picks a little bit later. I might give this one away right now. I'm going to give this one away right now. Tennessee at Florida. We're riding on Florida. We're picking Florida in that game. -7. We've got 7 points to work with. I think that's plenty. Do I think Tennessee's a better football team? I do. That's why they're ranked in the what if poll, and Florida's not. However, I think Florida could win this game outright. Would I pick them to win it outright? I don't think so. But I'm going to pick them to cover. And I really like this pick, guys. I really like this pick, okay? Tennessee at Florida, going to be a fun game this weekend. Tune in. Don't know where it's at. Don't know what it's on. But it's going to be fun to watch. Next game that I think is going to be a good one. LSU at Mississippi State. Now, the SEC's been on the struggle bus. They have been on the struggle bus. 3-6 in out-of-conference games. I know this is a conference game, but 3-6 out of conference. SEC was the powerhouse. We're the best conference ever. Are they the best conference ever? Not this year at the moment. Could they get there by the end of the year? I think so, absolutely. But at the moment, I don't know who the best conference in college football is. I don't know if there is one. But it's definitely not the SEC right now. However, this is an SEC matchup. They're not playing non-conference. Doesn't matter. We got a good game on our hands. LSU at Mississippi State. I think this is going to be a fun game. They're playing at Mississippi State. LSU. Now, the Tigers, can they win on the road at Mississippi State? I think they can. I think they will. I think they will win. But I think we're going to have a game just like Tennessee at Florida. Who's the better team? The road team. And usually when we have these games, supposedly not a good weekend for college football, we get a lot of good games and we get some upsets. Of all the games in the top 25, I think this is the game that's most likely to be an upset. LSU came in with a whole bunch of hype. I still think they're good. But I really like Mississippi State in this game, and I'm going to pick them to win the game. So we also have Mississippi State -10. So if they don't even win, but they cover, we're good. Because the pick is for them to cover, not for them to win outright. But I think they're going to win outright. I do. Starkville, Cowbells, boom, boom, boom. I think they're going to be rocking, and I think LSU's going to lose this game. And the dreams for LSU this season they're falling apart. Okay, it's over for LSU after this week. It's over. Mississippi State -10. That's the pick. Good game this weekend. One more game that I want to talk about this weekend is actually that's all of them. That's all the games I want to talk about this weekend. I don't really. Those are kind of the best games. We may be able to talk about Kansas State, Missouri. That could be a fun game. Missouri, 5-point underdogs. But I think Kansas State. We'll get to that pick a little bit later. But for now, those two games, I think you need to watch those games this weekend. I think they're going to be fun. I think they're going to come down to the wire, and I think both of them have the potential for upset potential there, guys. Okay, Tennessee at Florida. LSU at Mississippi State. We're picking Mississippi State. We're riding the underdog in both of those games and both of those picks. Florida to cover, Mississippi State to cover. We even think Mississippi State's going to win outright. We do here at Top 25 and 25. Is it going to happen? It is. There. Yeah, it's going to happen. No big deal, but it's going to happen. Okay, games to watch, done. Off the checklist. All right, let's get into my picks here. Let's just, you know what? I said I wasn't going to go down 1 through 25, but I am. I'm going to go down 1 through 25. Georgia versus South Carolina, minus 27.5. And keep in mind, guys, the lines change. So we go off of the lines that I say right here, right now. So throughout the week, these lines could change. It doesn't matter. Whatever the line is in this computer at the moment in this spreadsheet, that's what we go off of for my picks. Okay, Georgia minus 27.5 versus South Carolina. A lot of points here. I don't care. We're picking Georgia. South Carolina, I don't think you're any good. Could you get it going against Georgia? You know, kind of a rivalry game, if you will. Border states there. I don't think the Gamecocks are gonna. I don't think they're gonna get it done. I don't think they're gonna get it done. I don't think they're gonna cover. That's why we're riding Georgia. Bulldogs, number 1 team in the country in the AP poll, number 2 in the What If poll, and we're riding with Georgia, 27.5. A lot of points, but I think they're gonna do it. Okay, number 2 Michigan versus Bowling Green. Okay, Bowling Green. Not entirely sure where you guys are at. However, Michigan to cover 40 points. Now, what this shows me is Bowling Green is a terrible football team because Michigan hasn't, 40 points is a lot of points. Last week didn't cover. Really disappointing for us. That was one of our losses. Minus 40 is a lot of points. However, got something in my eye. Okay. I don't like Michigan to cover this game, guys. I don't. Bowling Green. If you guys look this up, their colors are brown and orange. I'm pretty sure. Brown and orange, but their name's Bowling Green. Makes no sense, so we're going to ride with them. Things like that, I gave out last week. We'll get into it a little bit later. Rare mascot, rare wins. If your name has a color in it and that's not part of your team colors, then we're going to go with you guys because that's odd, and I think that actually helps the spread. I really do. Bowling Green minus 40, that's the pick. Okay, my favorite team in the country at the moment, guys, Florida State. Let's go, baby. Florida State at Boston College. This line is creeping down. But when I did the pick, it was minus 25.5. I think it's gotten down to minus 23. Maybe it's gone back up, but I saw as low as minus 23. But when I made my pick, I'm a man of integrity here, guys. Minus 25.5 was the number. And I think Florida State rolls them. I think they do. 25.5 is a lot of points. Boston College isn't bad, but they're not good, I wouldn't say. They struggled with some team that sucks last week. They did. They beat them by 3 points. It was Churchill Chapel or something like that. We don't like Boston College here, guys. At top 25 and 25. So we're going with Florida State at Boston College, minus 25.5 to cover. Moving right along, Texas versus Wyoming, minus 28. Texas coming off a huge win. If you guys remember in week 1, Texas Tech lost at Wyoming double overtime. Texas Tech then took Oregon down to the wire last weekend in week 2. What does that tell us about this game? Absolutely nothing. We're taking Texas minus 28.5. Okay. USC, number 5 team in the country according to the AP poll. We have them at number 7 in the What If poll. They're off this week. No game. So can't pick against them this week. Okay, number 6 Ohio State versus Western Kentucky. Minus 28.5. Minus 28. Okay, guys. I picked Ohio State last week. It was tough. It was a sad day. Sad day. Western Kentucky's no slouch. They got a really good offense, Western Kentucky does. Also, Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers. Okay, that's their mascot, the Hilltoppers. You guys know what I'm about to say? Say it with me. Rare mascot equals rare wins. We're going to do like a cool graphic there, hopefully. Rare mascot equals rare wins. We're riding with the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Okay, minus 28, a lot of points. We think they're going to cover. Number 7, Penn State versus Illinois, at Illinois. Okay, Kansas beat Illinois last week by more than 14, I believe, if I remember correctly. Penn State, better team, better than Kansas. This isn't even a question. This isn't even a question, okay? We're picking Penn State here. Also, guys, forgot to mention that Florida State game. Lock it in. Ka-ching. Lock for Florida State. Moving right along. 8 Washington at Michigan State. -6. I think they have too much going on. They're thinking about a lot of things over there. Long term, I think Michigan State's going to be better for this, guys. I do. However, in this week, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Big distraction. I like Washington on the road in East Lansing, more than 16. Here we go. Notre Dame versus Central Michigan. We got to get moving. We got to get moving. -34, a lot of points, but you guys know I'm high on Notre Dame. We have them at number 5 in the what if poll. So I'm taking Notre Dame to cover the -34. A lot of points, but I like them. Moving on. Alabama at South Florida, -32. Alabama bounces back this week against a lesser opponent in the USF Bulls. Okay, cool logo. Might be a top 3 logo. Top 5. We'll give them top 5, maybe top 10. Cool logo, but they lose by more than 32 this weekend. Alabama, come on, bounce back for us, baby. You didn't work with me last week, but I think you'll work with me against the Bulls this week. Let's go, baby. Okay, Tennessee at Florida. We already picked that one. We're going with Florida. Utah versus Weber State. Not even a line on this game. Going with Utah. Oregon versus Hawaii. -38. Okay. Oregon, disappointing week last week, but we love you guys this week. We absolutely love you guys this week. I don't love the number. I don't love -38. I don't. That's a lot of points. 7 touchdowns. Not 7 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns. And a field goal. A lot of points. But we're going with Oregon. Hawaii is no good. Hawaii is no good at football. Oregon, -38. I like this pick. LSU at Mississippi State. Already gave you guys that one. Kansas State at Missouri. I mentioned this one earlier. Kansas State at Missouri. -5 for Kansas State. On the road. Missouri. I've seen that stadium. I saw a picture of it last weekend. It does not look menacing. I could be wrong, but it doesn't look scary. Kansas State's no joke. They are no joke. Number 15 in the AP poll. We have them a little lower in the what if poll. I might need to change that because I like Kansas State. We're picking Kansas State -5. I think they're going to win by more than 5. Going Kansas State. I don't think Missouri's that good. We'll see later on in this year. Oregon State at San Diego State. You guys know I love Oregon State. Number 11 in the what if poll. I think they're rolling. This is probably going to be the toughest opponent they play so far. But I think they're rolling. Right over San Diego State, -24. So much so that we lock this one in. Oregon State at San Diego State, -24. We are locking this one in. Hopefully we're better with the locks this week. And I think this one's going to help. I think the Beavers are gonna chew through San Diego State like a piece of wood. You guys like that? Yeah, I bet you did. Ole Miss versus Georgia Tech, -20. We like the Yellow Jackets in this game. I know. I went against Ole Miss last week. I'm going against them again this week, and I'll probably go against them again next week. Now, if they prove me wrong all 3 times, maybe I'll think about picking them. But for now, I'm going Georgia Tech, Yellow Jackets. I think they're going to sting them. I got to stop doing that. Ugh, that's horrible. Or is it good? I don't know. You guys let me know. -20. We're taking Georgia Tech. Colorado versus Colorado State. Big game this weekend. -22.5. We're still on the Colorado train. We're rolling with Colorado. Let's go. Oklahoma at Tulsa. Doesn't even matter. Oklahoma -27. Pick them, baby. Top 10 team in the country. North Carolina versus Minnesota. 7.5. This is a game that I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence on this game. And I like Minnesota. I do. I like Minnesota in this game. PJ Fleck, tough coach, tough game. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. They're going to duke it out. -7.5. I like Minnesota to cover that. Okay, third and final lock of the week, guys. Duke versus Northwestern, -18.5. Northwestern's no good at football. Everybody knows that. Duke is good at football this year. Underrated, in my opinion. We're going with Duke. Lock it in, -18.5. Okay, Miami versus Bethune-Cookman. Nobody knows where that is. Not even a line on this game. We're going with Miami. This is a Thursday night football game. So by the time this video goes out, this game is probably over. But just know that when this is being filmed, I picked Miami. Still counts. Unless Bethune-Cookman beats them and it doesn't count. This pick never happened. Washington State versus Northern Colorado. Who cares? Washington State. UCLA versus North Carolina Central. What? UCLA. Iowa versus Western Michigan. I know you guys. You're probably thinking, Ian, you haven't picked one. in this video. You've had all these picks pre-picked. Not this one. Iowa versus Western Michigan. As I was setting up the show here, guys, I couldn't pick this game. Really on the fence about this. Western Michigan is no good at football. We're starting to get into, if you noticed a theme this week, all these big-time football teams are playing a lot of directional schools. Northwestern, Eastern Michigan, Central North Carolina. A lot of directional schools. And when you get into directional schools, you're playing a bad football team. It's probably pretty and a good campus and all that, but you're playing a bad football team. And that's what we have here in Western Michigan. However, Iowa, 28.5 points. I have zero faith that Iowa can score 28.5 points. So that's why we're going to pick Western Michigan. We're going with Western Michigan, 28.5. I don't think Iowa is going to get to 28.5 points. I think they'll win, but they're not going to get to 28.5 points. So we're going Western Michigan. That's the pick in the video. All right, those are the picks for this week. Get them in. Lock them in. We're going to continue to win. We're going to continue to win, and we're not going to lose. That's what we do, top 25 and 25. Next, on the sheet. Okay, so you guys have probably seen this little guy in the corner here. This little guy. I made him. Yes, I made this. It's an eagle, a bald eagle. The United States of America, national bird. I've yet to see one in person, but I want to. But what we're going to do with this guy, you know, the saying eagle eye, because they can see things from miles away and they go in and get it. That's what we do. That's what this segment is, the eagle eye segment. What do we see for week 3? We're a little bit ways away, a few days, 4 days, 5 days. What do we see into week 3? We see some upsets. We do. I've already told you guys one of them. Mississippi State beating LSU. Minnesota, I think they're going to beat North Carolina. I do. Those are the upsets. What do we see? What does the eagle see? That's what we see. Eagle eye. Ka-cha! Oh, man, the mascot sounds today. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. Okay, I think that's pretty much wrapped up the show. We actually ended a little bit early this week in top 25 on 25. No big deal. That's okay. As long as we don't go over 25 minutes at top 25 and 25, we're fine. So we'll let you guys go back to whatever you're doing, class, I don't know, eating breakfast, making waffles, making dinner, riding your bike, working, if you're listening to this at work, whatever you're doing. Thank you. I've been enjoying this. The Eagle, he's going to be coming back. And we'll see you guys in the week 3 recap. It's going to be another winning week, no doubt about it. A lot more upsets this week, a lot more underdogs that we're picking this week. But I like it. You know, it's not always fun to pick the favorite. It's not. It's like, well, they're the favorite. They're supposed to win. Everybody likes an underdog story. And that's why we've got six of the 24 games this week. We're picking the underdog. Now, if you do the math on that, somebody do it for me. What is that? 18 games we're picking the favorites here. I like it. That's a good ratio. 3-1. I like that. I like a 3-1 ratio here. And yeah, I'm just kind of rambling, but I've got to get to my 25 minutes. I don't. End of the video right here. Thank you guys. See you guys next week.